Hey guys, okay, so this is a little bit of a rant today. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to try to keep it short. It is a rant. Nobody likes long rants. It really is about stuff that keeps coming across my inbox and emails these days. It started with Photoshop and the new beta and the way that Adobe has implemented AI and generative fill in the new beta. It's incredible. I would highly recommend checking it out. The possibilities are seemingly endless. I've always been a big believer in photography starting with the idea, or art in general, starting with the idea. And however you get to that idea, or the implementation or the execution of that idea, it's just tools. It's if it's film, if it's digital, if it's AI, it shouldn't really matter. In the end, it's the final result that matters. Um, so I think that's great. I would highly recommend everybody to check out that Photoshop beta. The other thing is I keep getting these emails about AI cropping from Topaz Labs and on one, everybody's fighting for the market right now, and a lot of this stuff is again incredible. But I do feel like it always says about dramatic, make your landscapes dramatic and make your landscapes this, and I feel like and a lot of the stuff I feel like starts looking the same, because in a way it's you take a photo, you drop it in, and it's just starts looking the same, because it's the same sky, it's the same dramatic sky, it's the same dramatic foreground, it's the same dramatic coloring. um, and I'm not sure that's what people actually want. And for me personally, I'm right now my and I've always kind of seen that in my work, and that was what got me into photography in the first place. Is a certain stillness. Of beauty, and finding the beauty anywhere. It doesn't matter if that's rocks or trees or a landscape. And a big part of it is printing as well. So keeping that pipeline from the capture to the print pretty much as straight as possible. Just a kind of a representation what I saw, what I think I saw. So there's no real relighting or reimagining or adding or taking things out. And of course, everybody knows, when you go out, you take that shot, and you think, "Oh, this is an amazing shot," and and then you come back and you actually look at a different shot, and that's actually the shot that like kind of pops out at you. But I actually don't really look for dramatic things. I don't really look for dramatic places. I'm not saying that I don't like dramatic places or dramatic photography. Some of the stuff is amazing, and again, it's that I just don't necessarily think it's that necessary to go to these Instagrammable places, and that's the tree you need to photograph, and that's the lake you need to photograph, and it needs to be super wide angle, and it needs to be super dramatic, and the sky needs to be a certain way. I don't necessarily believe that. I think there is something to be said about, a lot of the photographers that I admire. Penn comes to mind, finding cigarette butts and photographing them and making amazing prints. That pretty much sums up what I think is great about photography, is finding something that's very simple, that people don't even look at, and try and find the beauty in it, and then making prints from these images helps you kind of looking at the print and then kind of getting lost in the print, and not looking at the print saying, "Wow, this is a dramatic sunset," or "This is a dramatic tree," or "This is," there's nothing wrong with that, but just looking at a print and saying, "Oh wow, there's a stillness to it," or "There's a detail," or "There's something," you get lost in that. So I think that's fantastic, that's what I'm trying to achieve, and that's what I'm trying to work on right now. Um, Another example, and this is another thing that came across my desk, what kind of again triggered all this and made me think about all this, is the Hasselblad Masters competition, which Hasselblad has this pedigree, this historical pedigree about cameras and photography, and I love the Masters competition. I think the work is always fantastic. It's incredible, and I think it's great that they kind of edit it down and kind of let you judge the work. I think that's incredible. So I sat down and I looked through the categories and I'm starting to judge things, and I really thought that this year a lot of the work was very much very heavy on post production and very stylized and very art directed, very almost like a photo illustration style, which is again, I mean, the work is great. I'm not trying to diss that at all, and I mean, it's fantastic. A lot of work goes into it. I just thought it was interesting that a camera company with that again that historical pedigree about photography chooses to it's a marketing thing for Hasselblad. Let's face it. They choose to take that kind of work across the board, portrait, fine art, street, to represent their brand. I know they're owned by DJI. I don't think that. Well, maybe it does play into it. But I thought that was interesting. So that's kind of worth. We are surrounded by AI. We're surrounded by these heavily manipulated images, and it's amazing to have these tools. But for me personally, I'm trying to almost. The more I work with it, the more I go away from it. Not to say that I don't use it, because I do. So I'm just using it maybe in a different way. And again, it's great to have these tools. They're incredible. Everybody has their own voice, and everybody should do their own thing anyway. So anyway, that's the end of my rant. Go out and take some pictures, and can't wait to see everybody's work. And if you feel like you want to chime in, feel free to go into comments. I don't want to offend anyone. That's not what this is about. Like I said, we're living in exciting times, and technology is absolutely mind-blowing, and who knows what's going to come next.